Well, hello to anybody who might be jumping in. I am that role-playing ginger, and I am literally just... I'm gonna be doing some... Oh god, I know about that. Stop beeping at me. I am literally just gonna be doing some map making. Figured might as well stream it, see if anybody wants to check in. Let's see, stream info. No, I'm trying to pull up... God damn it, don't show me that. I had to reinstall OBS a while back, and it basically defaulted on every notification OBS likes to throw your way. But yeah, it looks like everything's going well, so yeah, I am... let's start from the top. I am that role-playing ginger, and I have just decided to stream some map making. I'm using the program Arkenforge. Absolutely adore this program. Every piece of it is very, very fun to play around with, and I've used it for so many things. Yeah, just decided to chill stream because I have the day off. I'm going to be going out later about, let's see, it's 1:27 right now, so I'm going to be going out in about 7 hours, so I'm going to work on some maps for Pathfinder's First Edition's campaign, Mummy's Mask. Let me turn the volume down for me at least. It's starting to get a little loud. Alright. Turn the volume down because it's starting to get a little loud in my ear. Yeah, I am going to be doing some Mummy's Mask potentially in the future because I found somebody on, I think it was Drive-Thru-RPG, who actually did a conversion of Mummy's Mask to 2nd edition in like a 180-something page PDF. And it's just so good. It's such a good translation from Pathfinder 1st Edition to Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and Mummy's Mask is one of the games that I played a lot in Pathfinder's 1st Edition. So I'm very psyched to like go through that and maybe get a game going with some friends, so I decided to start putting the maps together. I'm currently on map B. This is the House of Pentheru map, which is one of the many locations the players will go to in this campaign. I need to move some things around on my right screen. That way, if anybody pops into the chat, I can actually see them and talk to them. So I'm going to get this set. I can just squeeze this a little closer. There we go. And that can go over there, and this should be fine. Sweet. I now have the chat, the map page, and the descriptors of the rooms going right now, so I'm just gonna jump right in. I have pinned in the chat the music that is playing in the background. It is on YouTube. It claims to be copyright free, so we'll hopefully see. Just something peaceful. I was gonna go with some more like of the ambience of like an Egyptian kind of theme and everything, but I have a bit of a headache, and so I'm just going to do something that's a little more peaceful to my ears personally. So I am going to start doing this. I've already been doing a lot of this. I did the first map of the game, which was the Tomb of Akhetapi, I believe. Let me see. Open map. Yeah, the Tomb of Akhetapi. I did that, and then I did a hidden version of it because there are a lot. Because being Mummy's Mask, there are secret doors everywhere. One thing I'm also noticing that I missed is I'm going to want to take one of these. I'm going to want to throw it probably right here. I am following along with the maps in the Pathfinder Adventure Path, which I have both physical versions and the digital files of them. So I am basically using those maps as the reference for making the maps in Arkenforge so that I can then use them on my own game. I could easily just like screen cap the map and try to fit it to something like Roll20. I don't want to do that. I like building maps. It's one of my passions. I also recently started using Wonder Draft to do world maps, and absolutely adore it. Absolutely adore it. Going through the rooms right now. I believe I was just finishing up in this, which is the dining room. The maps in Pathfinder's First Edition's campaigns, their adventure paths, aren't always the most detailed. So you have to kind of rely on the descriptors of each room to kind of figure out what all's going on too. Like this room right here, it says it's a privy. It says that there is a toilet, basically a table with some stuff on it, but then it also says that right here is supposed to be a mirror, but the mirror is shattered and there's glass everywhere. On their map, all you see is like, area is a different color, this area is a different color, dot, dot, bigger dot, and that's it. So I'm like, unless you read the descriptors, you don't know that there's supposed to be glass all over the thing. And because I have all the assets here in Arkenforge, I'm gonna make the maps as like nice as I can. So especially since you can kind of zoom in and get some real good details. Really gross little toilet that I found, so threw that in there. Yeah, this is a house that's basically pretty decrepit. It's been abandoned for a while, and the players come here after investigating a tomb that they have been assigned to, because there is I believe, if I remember correctly, it's been a couple years, there's a plague of undeath going on, and most of Osirian, which is the area that Mummy's Mask takes place in, is, their key deities are a lot of the ancient Egyptian deities, like Anubis and all that kind of stuff, but they also mainly worship in the Pathfinder cosmology Pharasma, who is the goddess of death. She is the one that is in charge of like transporting souls to the boneyard, which is like the resting place until you figure out which afterlife you're going to. So undeath is an extreme perversion of her faith. So the Osiriani rulers have basically decreed it's more of a bad thing that there are undead in all these areas than it would be for grave robbers to be taking from these places. So they basically assign groups of adventurers different tombs and whatnot and say, you can go in there and you can take valuables out of there so long as you deal with any undead threats that you find in these places. Because the desecration of undeath is more dire to us than the sanctity of keeping loot in these places, basically. So, I'm just working on this. This is supposed to be a dining room. Enormous stone table, that one, littler one. Splintered piles of dust and wood lie in the corners and along the walls. Only remains of chairs after untold years. Strong, fetid stench pervades the room. An open, sand-filled hallway lies to the south, so put another sand pile over here. Just do a shin. That'd be right. Just to kind of make it a little more decrepit. Broken chairs and everything, so I'm just gonna type broken. The assets, I have a lot of the packs that you purchase from Arkenforge to use in these maps. I love them. I think they are absolutely some of the best assets I've ever seen in map making. You have such a gigantic library even after like, if you buy 2 of them, you get the base pack and then you like get 1 more, and you have more than you will ever need. I like this broken desk one, mainly because it can kind of be used along the walls, so I'm gonna, first off, edit it to how I would want it, because that's a pretty big desk compared to the tables that are here. I'm gonna edit about there, go into some color changing, get a little age by removing some saturation, maybe a little dark, like this table's gonna be darker than the tables there, and then a little bit of opacity so that you can kind of have that kind of sandy color almost. Put one there, and then just kind of double up on it to make it the debris a little more so. Just gonna throw these around to give the room the feeling that, oh, this place has been like swarms of mad people and looters over the centuries have just kind of come through this place. There we go. That gives it a bit of a decrepit look, and then let's see if I can find any more like wooden debris to kind of just like place along the tiles. Concrete debris, overgrown. Nah, I think that should be fine. Because there's no... The only close door to the outside would be right here, so I don't want to throw a whole bunch more sand in here, because it wouldn't make too much sense if this place is a pretty closed-off room from the rest of it. I imagine there's an upstairs up here that does have a hole in the floor, so that would probably lend to that. But yeah, I think that's about good. And there are creatures in there, so you don't want to clutter it too much, because you do want there to be mobility for everybody. So I have the places where the tables are, basically, as I consider any place that has like pillars or tables closed off tiles, which means that in my head, unless the player decides to jump on the table, they're not going to be moving in these squares. So I don't want to throw too much stuff in the room to make it be like, oh, where do I go? Like how many squares can I move into? Because then it gets a little confusing, can slow down the gameplay. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. And move on to B18, which is this one right here. Which is something that happened a lot in Pathfinder 1st Edition. I haven't read as much Pathfinder 2nd Edition, although I did just get the Abomination Vaults delivered today, so I am going to be reading through those. Anything with creepy lighthouses is my jam, so... But in Pathfinder 1st Edition especially, there was a bit of a... And it's just like an OCD problem, where the maps are basically labeled in order, like, oh, the first map of this book is A, and then each room that you go through is A1, A2, A3, A4. That's really good. That helps my brain, like, organize it, and I can quickly reference things in the adventure paths. However, some of the adventure paths, or some of the maps, I think, weren't designed thinking too heavily on where players might go. Because if I remember correctly, this front door is, like, super locked or something like that. And so, like, this area is B1, and then you go in through these front gates, and you get to B2, and then it goes B3 is over here, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. They're like, oh, the front door's locked, so they're gonna try and, like, search around for it. So B3 is right here, and then, like, B4 is here, which isn't a problem, because it's like, this leads to the next area, and it's in this area, so might as well. And then it goes back to over here being B5, and then it goes through B6, B7, B8, B9, B10, right here. And then you'd imagine, like, oh, okay, well, they come up here, maybe they'll come in here and go up, or, like, down, or, like, go over here and come in this door back here, and then just kind of go through around the house, and then the center. But it goes B10, and then it goes back to this front entryway, B11. And I'm like, I get it from, like, it's closest to the front door, but that front door, if I remember correctly, is either super trapped or super locked. So my thought process is, like, players aren't gonna either get through here, or they're gonna, like, get hit with some trap or something like that, and they're gonna be like, well, maybe we should try to find another way in and come around the sides. Like, that's just how my brain works, but it's a preference thing. Alright, so this room right here is B18, which is the servants' dining room. The house servants and living guards took their meals in the smaller dining room apart from the family, similar to B17, but it lacks the ghastly tableau. It is empty, save for dust and sand, so I can get some more. Let's see, type in some dust. See if that pulls anything up a little different. Dust, yeah. Oh. Well, I love the moving effects, but they're really only useful if you're using this or Foundry or something, like, as your virtual tabletop. Because otherwise, if you're, like, wanting to go on to Roll20 or whatnot, you have to save this as an image, basically. And the image isn't going to have this moving. So I could leave it here and then just, like, chance that it's going to take a good shot of the dust, but I don't like taking that chance. Dust puff. That's pretty cool. Okay, that's actually kind of awesome. Dust impact. Yeah, it looks like most of the dust ones are... Oh, did I just throw one on the ground over there? I have a bad habit of clicking in wrong spots on the maps in these. But that's what we have an undo button for, and I have a save, so I'm gonna go sand. And I've mainly been using these first four to kind of dirty up the place. Let's see if there's anything else I can use. Actually, you know what? Dry sand. That's a little much. those use sand, so what I'll do is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to alter this, because it's going to be indoors, so it's going to be a little on the darker side, but I also want to make sure it's a different shade than the tiles it's going to be on. Alright, and then I'll also do some opacity. A little more saturation, maybe a little bright. Alright, and that seems good enough to my colorblind eyes to be different enough from this floor to know that, like, oh, it's just part of the texture on the floor, so I'm going to go assets, and we're going to have this be a tile, but I would like to do brush. So a round circular one. I want the brush width to be pretty big. I want the opacity to be super down, and I want a soft brush. So let's see how this... There also is a bad habit of mine where if you click it too many times, it's gonna... It's gonna basically just assume you double-clicked and be done with it. I think that's good, though. I don't want it too dusty, just a little bit. And I'll leave that up there for right now in case I need to go back to it. Go ahead and save. Yeah, I'll leave that one like there. They said there's not much in this room. I imagine whatever servants and guards this house had, they would stand and eat, as opposed to the people in here who could, like, you know, sit down. Move to B19, which is right here, which this was a pantry, so this is most likely going to be the kitchen. Yep, the kitchen. 2 stone tables sit against the western wall of this room, while a third occupies the southeastern corner. Oh, I see that. There is a big old furnace. Butcher block in the northeast. Stone oven. So, first things first, we will type oven, see what that pulls in. Oh, those are pretty nice. Is it loading anymore? It is not. So, we will then type furnace, see if there's anything a little more ornate or styled like that. Doesn't look like it. Looks like we're going with those ovens. That's alright, we can fix them up. Stove. It's pulling up a whole bunch of modern ones, because I do have some modern assets. It looks like it's going to be one of these, but I would like to have it a little more styled. So let's see what fireplaces look like. Because we can always kind of mesh them. Because it looks kind of like that. So what I'm going to do is that. I'm going to get an oven. Make the oven a little bit bigger, and then position it to where it looks like it is part of this. And I want to bring these to where it's supposed to be. I'll go ahead and group them, shrink it down. Oh, it's supposed to be over here. Could have it be about here. It looks like it takes up from that, because these are individual squares. It looks like it takes up more of a, this size. So I'll make it a little bigger, but I don't want it to be too gigantic. Alright, and then maybe go to the coloring. We can lower that. Give it a little opacity to kind of blend it in. And alright, looks like it should be about cool. Most of the stuff in these rooms are flavor details. Like not there's going to be some loot in some things, so there are obviously priorities when it comes to which things are here. Actually, what I want to do, because this is going to be, oh, that works perfectly, it lines up right there. I want that to be underneath the wall, so it looks like it goes into the wall, and then what I can do is I can go to assets, shadow, get myself an edge shadow, which I use a lot. I use edge shadows as objects, and they come out pretty nice. Well, maybe they do. Object. On the object layer. And then I just tweak these around to however I need them. Which this one's going to be there, get a little less. There we go. And then there is a chimney on the back side, so that looks like just your regular output for this, so I'm gonna just find that'll work. Do a little bit of that, and then put that underneath everything. A little smaller, and then just like that. There we go. Got ourselves the nice little stove that they have in that picture. Third, 2 stone tables sit against the western wall, so they are here and here. A third occupies the southeastern corner. Small square butcher's block right here. So in their picture, they just use a crate for this area right here, for the butcher's block. I can make more of a butcher's block, so I'm going to go for that. But first things first, we might as well get these tables out of the way. Stone oven. Oh, there's also a skeleton. So let's see. A humanoid skeleton lies beneath the northwestern table, so the skeleton will be up here. Burnt skeleton. Regular skeleton. We'll just go regular skeletons. No indication that they're burnt. I'll throw you up there for right now. Table. Now, they don't have much of a stone table option, I've noticed, unless it's hiding from me. Lots of tables, but not much of a stone table, so what I've been doing is I've been using marble ones and then just altering them to kind of look stone. The ones that they are showing in their picture look wooden, which is a little confusing. I don't want to use this one because this one looks like it's old metal, so it's got rust and everything on it. Let's see. Might as well just find. Looking for one that has more of a flatness to it, and not like individual boards. We could always put a pool table there. But they didn't have billiards tables back in ancient Osirian. Yeah, it looks like we might just need to go for a wooden one. A fancy table. A wooden one and kind of just alter it to look as close to stone as possible. And they look to be about that sized. Do a little thinner. And then color. For these ones, we want to up this saturation a little bit, make it look more like a sandstone. And then a little there. And then we'll just throw another one here. And then, because I am a huge fan of asymmetry, we're going to kind of like, this one's leaning a little bit that way, and this one's leaning a little bit that way. Because nobody's perfect. Realign that one. This one we can have be a little more perfect, because I want to move it a little bit away from that area, that thing that I have indicating that the door is right here. Too skewed. There we go. Alright. Next thing is Skeleton. Skeleton is up under the northeast? Northwest. So the skeleton's going to be underneath this thing, what we'll do is kind of angle him. Actually, it's a weird position, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip him. And then just kind of... There we go. Alright, now we need to work on that butcher's block. Butcher's block. So, we have tables. The butcher's block says that it looks like it's about to be collapsing under its own weight. So maybe we find one that's a little more on the damaged side. Nope. More saturation, a little less brightness. And then, because I am crazy, I'm going to find a butcher's knife. Or something close to a butcher's knife. Which, you always run the chance, because I did have a table that would do this kind of stuff all the time. Where if I was when I was hand drawing maps, you know, back in my day, I still hand draw maps all the time. But back then we would have a player or two that would basically be like, that's a knife, right? I could pick it up, right? I'd be like, sure, go right ahead. Like, they would take... I think that's one of the reasons why I'm so, like, pedantic about my map making now, is because I had players that if I was like, oh, it's a table, so I'm gonna put, like, oh, hey, nice for the raid. Eldritch Dreams game. I'm pretty pedantic about that, because if I was like, oh, it's a kitchen table, so I'm gonna put cups and everything on there, then I would have those. I would have a player or two that would be like, we're gonna loot these cups and sell them for like a copper each. I was like, alright, cool. So I'm very particular about when or what I'm putting where. A skeleton's also rather large, so I'm gonna shrink him down just a little bit. There you go. Angle him a little. Alright. So that looks like that's about it for B19, the kitchen. Yep, so now it looks like we're going to B20. Oh, it's already having us go on to the next map. I'm finishing up this first floor first, thank you very much, Pathfinder. Oh, that means I missed 15. I done goofed. I went straight from the chapel over to the kitchens. I missed this area, although there's not much in this one, to be real. Bonjour! Welcome to the stream. I'm just building up some Pathfinder 1st Edition Mummy's Mask maps in Arkenforge. I've been a chill day, just trying to get some mapping done so I could play it, since I found a person that did a translation from 1st edition to 2nd edition for Mummy's Mask. It's all good. I appreciate the raid, even if it did weird out. Inner courtyard. So yeah, that'll be this area right here. Okay, I did make sure I got that. Tiled walkway surrounds a square patch of earth and a sand in this high atrium. Death Dreams, is that a game, or is that like a module for a game? So I'm unfamiliar with Death Dreams. Sounds cool though. Oh, nice. Streamer for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I'll have to check them out, because I haven't played Pathfinder 2nd Edition yet, but I have like all the books already. I played a lot of Pathfinder 1. Like, I probably played out of all the TTRPGs I've played, because I've played D&D 3.5, Pathfinder, D&D 4th Edition, D&D 5th, Death Dreams _live. I'll have to check them out. I'll write them down. Yeah, out of all the things I've played, Vampire the Masquerade, I think 20th edition or 20th anniversary, whatever. All of them, I went Pathfinder the first edition the most. We went through Mummy's Mask, we went through Rise of the Rune Lords, we went through Wrath of the Righteous. I keep wanting to call it the Snows of Summer, but that's the first book of the Baba Yaga campaign. Can't remember the name of the entire campaign. I should have it actually right here. Let's see. In my files under Adventure Path. Yeah, Rasputin Must Die was, I think, the last, or either the last book or the second to last book in the camp. Reign of Winter, that's the name of it. Yeah, Snows of Summer's the first one, then the Shackled Hut, Maiden Mother Crone, Frozen Stars, Rasputin Must Die, and then the Witch Queen's Revenge. I loved the maps in those ones because I love snowy terrain. Oh no, the adventure paths cost an arm and a leg to keep up with. They absolutely did. I lucked out recently and was able to get, I don't remember if they were doing a sell or whatnot, but I jumped onto Paizo just on a whim and was checking out Pathfinder First Edition stuff, and they were like, hey, we have all the books of Second Darkness, the second adventure path, on sale for like $40 to $50. Do you, like, and I was like, done, send them my way, because each of those books, when they came out, was like 20. It's pretty insane. It's still a little insane, the adventure path pricing, because they're now doing, what, 3, sometimes 4 books for an adventure path, and each one's about $20 to $30. And if you think about, like, that, it's a campaign that's going for $80 to $100. And most of the full campaign books for other modules still stick around the $60 range. So it's a little pricier. I do have one full adventure path for second edition. You do development, editing, and layout for the third party. Nice. I do have, what is it? The Ghosts one from second edition. I just got the last module for that in, so I'm going to be reading through that. Something of Ghosts, if I remember correctly. Season of Ghosts, yeah. I do have the 4 books for Season of Ghosts. The 4th one just came in the other day, and then today I just got the book of Abomination Vaults delivered. So I'll be reading through those to help kind of get me more of an understanding of Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Because it is a big jump from Pathfinder 1st Edition to D&D 5th Edition to Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Like, like, each jump from one to the next was pretty significant. I don't think there's anything in this room other than all the sand, because there's a creature in here that comes from it. Hesharu. 4 columns. The atrium, it's going to be this inner part that leads to the 2nd floor. Walls decorated with symbols depicting animals, celestial creatures, and the sun and moon. Oh, yeah, so that basically just needs the sandy debris over here. And that'll be that. We've got a drained bathtub over here. One thing you'll say is APs have a decent amount of bespoke. I don't know what that means. I do remember from my time DMing, because I didn't DM Mummy's Mask, or GM Mummy's Mask when we ran it. My buddy did. This was one of the ones I got to play in. I was a gnome cleric of Saren Bay. They have items, spells, super niche. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, like, especially Wrath of the Righteous. Wrath of the Righteous got to the point where, like, we had a player in it who was min-maxing a barbarian with the backswing feat, which in Pathfinder First Edition means, like, first hit's not doing much. Second hit, especially if you crit, is basically killing a boss in one hit. And they were min-maxing that, and Wrath of the Righteous just gives you god items constantly. So I had to constantly, like, try and rebalance it, because there was one part where a big old demon came in, and it was supposed to be like, this demon is what they have to get through to go to somewhere. And the barbarian got first initiative, stepped in there, and literally, like, one-shot the guy. I was like, god damn. I'm gonna start having to throw more things at them, especially because they were mythic tier, like, 3 at that point. And the barbarian was like, yeah, please throw more things at us, because, like, I built this guy because I want to see how he fights and everything, and he's literally mopping the floor with everybody, so if you want to throw harder things at us, throw harder things at us. Which is good, because it's always better to have a min-maxer who wants the challenge, as opposed to a min-maxer who literally just wants you to read them the adventure paths as a bedtime story. Ogre fighter character in 1E that dealt 100 damage on a crit at level 1. Oh my god. Especially in the adventure paths, no enemies in level 1 terrain is gonna have 100 hit points to take. I think the only one would be if they somehow managed to throw something at Discari at the start of, it was a dinosaur. Reason the dinosaur went extinct was an ogre fighter. It wasn't an asteroid, wasn't the clouds or anything, it was ogre fighters. That's what happened. Extinction level event. Alright, I think this map is done, so I'm gonna get rid of that. Make sure there's no other clutter around. First floor seems to be good. I could just go up to second floor, which I would if I were going to be using this. Critting with a ×3, ×4, yeah. Especially ×4. Because in Pathfinder 2nd edition? No, wait, in D&D 5th edition, all you do is double the dice. So, doubling the dice, and then, like, the strongest you can get, I think, when I was looking at it in 5th edition, was if you were one of the ancestral barbarians, I think? If you were like an ancestral barbarian orc or something like that. And then you... Because, like, if you get, like, a great sword, it's 2d6 plus whatever your strength is. If you're a barbarian with the crit thing, or if you're an orc with the crit thing, you get the 3d6. Or you get... Because you'll double it, so 4d6. 3d6, and then I think there's another d6 added for the ancestral barbarians. I think. It's been a while. I did just recently play a game, but I was an artificer, and it was a one-shot. It was a one-shot dad venture where we went to a lake retreat, and our kids/grandkids got kidnapped, so we had to go save them. Pretty fun, pretty fun. A lot of good times with the friends. So I think, normally I would go to level up 1 for the map, however, I think... maybe, because I like the dim. I like how it dims everything. So you know what, I'll go ahead and do this. I'll go ahead and do floor 2 like this, because a lot of times, especially if I'm forwarding them in 2E, anyone can get a base damage of 4 dice from runes. Whew! The runes are something I'm having to like get more used to thinking about, like all the magic items, because I don't want to say first edition Pathfinder magic items were easy. It's probably just that I spent so much time learning all the crafting rules and everything for magic in first edition that I found it easier because I spent an ungodly amount of time learning it. I just got to do the same thing with magic items in second edition. Like, in first edition, I had it figured out, like, alright, it's going to take me this long, these are the checks I'm going to need to make whatever item this is, and 2E's like, here's the item, just, here's how you make it, and I'm overthinking it too much every time I look at it. So all this is done, so I kind of want to actually, just to be on the safe side, lock it all. There we go. That one's locked in place, gonna go up. Oh, how do I get dirt down here? That's not good. Unless the dirt is staining the whole map. So undo the lock. Wait for it to unlock every single thing that I just did. Don't you crash on me, Arkenforge. Don't you crash on me. It might be crashing on me. Oh, nope. It's thinking. Alright. Wait a minute. What the heck? How's the dust going multi-layered? Yeah, well, I'll figure that out. I'm gonna go second floor right now. Second floor, B20. Oh, let's get some walls going first. Fifth dimensional dust. Okay, I do have the right one, so I'm going to do that, go up a level. Make sure I have my actual map open that I'm looking at for research. Okay, I do still have it. It's going to be from here. It's going to be here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it's going to just meet up over now. And over now. Keep forgetting I can't click on things that are a layer too low. These a little smaller. Well, thank you for jumping in. It was nice chatting. You have yourself a good one, too. Happy gaming to you. One. These over now. So this one's a little here, and that's bothering me because it's doing the VeggieTale dance. Got another one of these. I should get some roofing going down here. Cover up those things. Because it's not just going to be the ceiling. Alright, I'm copying that one, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to be out of y'all. Boop. Alright. Get this. That. And that's going to be all these ones again. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it looks like every 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. These ones are actually a little... oh, I'll leave them like that. Those corners of the rooms aren't too relevant. And these are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Figured that was where it's going to go. Alright. So we have the outline of the room going. Feel like I need to put some roofs on top of stuff real quick, just so it helps my brain figure it out. Roof! I like these pre-built roof tiles. So I think I might try and do some of these. They're pretty big though. And that's fine. I'll throw one over here. I'm gonna make it yellow. Lessen the saturation. I could do not as dim. Something like that. And then make sure it's the size. Coloring that I like down, but let's see. Got some more broken roof. Do some broken roof around here, see how that, because that does look pretty nice. It's not doing great. We'll get rid of that. Actually, no, bring it back. Dang it. It's not going to undo my getting rid of it. this one a bit yellowish. Do the same thing. Doesn't need to be as yellow though, because it's a mausoleum. We want it to be a little on the darker side. Alright. And then moving along. Maybe we could use this one again to make a brighter one over here. These. I don't remember if that's a closed-in entryway. It's B2, so let's go back to B2, outer courtyard. Yeah, this is a courtyard, so probably... Well, it's got pillars, though. The pillars, I imagine, mean that it's going to be having some sort of roof structure on it. Copy. We'll do these kind of this way. We'll have it be underneath, just to kind of give some more tileage. Nope, did not want that. There we go. Just so the building has a little more going on with it. Something to cover up these edges over here. Move to bottom. Just to give it a little bit of coverage. But now we just need... The only thing left, I think, other than maybe the courtyard... let's see, what does it talk about the pillars? Pairs of columns, once brightly painted, now bleached from the sun. So these are these columns down here, and then these are sun touched. So that means there's not gonna be I just want that. There's not gonna be much there, so just do enough for there to be a front. Kind of like this. Move to bottom, then I'll move this above those two on the sides. There we go. So there's still the courtyard. Sun would be beaming on those pillars and everything at some point, but those two right there, not sure. Maybe just columns out in the middle of the thing for display. I don't know. We got the mausoleum. We got that. Now we just need to do that. So go back to assets. Do another. I mean, we have these curved ones which would work, but I feel like it's going to end up not being right for it. Give it a try, though. This one looks moss-covered, which isn't quite what we're going for, but it actually doesn't look bad. So maybe if we just change up the coloration a little bit, we can change what looks like moss to sand. Move to bottom. Oh, and move to do terrain layer. Move to bottom. I'd love to get that to look like that, so let's see if there's one that's... Because that's broken roof 12. Yeah. That looks a little more... Oh yeah, that's definitely... It looks more like it, but I don't like the chimney. Ah. I know it's never going to be perfect, but so we'll see what we can do. there a way I can match it? Whoa, nope. I think that looks about as good as I'm going to be able to get this for right now. There we go. Yeah, something like that. That should be fine. These are just to indicate that, oh, you're on the second floor, so the roof is going to be covering what's inside. So I think that works. Save. Alright, now we can start working on the individual rooms. Actually, I do want to take all of these, so we're going to get that and that. Copy, move up, paste, copy. Want to make this obviously downstairs. The way we can do that is increasing the shadows. Awesome. Because it looks like... Wait a minute. Okay, so they're taking the 3 tiles. Oh, wait. Something's off. Something's off. I think the game's mucking with me. Or not the game, the map. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a 6 by 6 room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And it takes up 3 on this map. So 3 by 2. Then you go up. And it takes up 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it ends up taking up another one. It takes 4 by 2. Huh. How long is this whole thing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So it should be 15 across, which it might not be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. What the fuck? Whoever designed this map didn't think this part through very well. There's also sand. Like the same tiles on their map that are like out here are right here and right here. Huh? Alright, let's go to B20. We'll see how they describe it. B20. God, I love. I'm looking through the PDF of the Half-Dead City, which is the Adventure Path Book 1 for Mummy's Mask, and God, I love the art. Pathfinder has my favorite art in like all TTRPGs, like first and second edition. I love the artwork in all of those books. It's one of my favorite things about having the books is that they're as much to me art books as they are game books. Second floor balcony. This balcony wraps around a 20-foot square opening in the floor, so yes, 5 by 5. Or, wait, 20? That's 4 by 4. Huh? I am very confused by this. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. I have the mapping done right, but something's not translating well. We'll just see what they do. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to undo all of that, and then copy. Go down. We're going to get these. Copy. Move up. Paste. God damn it. copy, move up, paste, and we're going to have these be where they have them, which is right here. Wait, no, they have the stairs. What the? Huh? They have it like that. That's how they have the transition in the book. But there doesn't seem to be a purpose behind it, so I am not going to do it that way. I am going to modify. Move up. What? Why is it? What? What the what? Did I only get shadows? I'm going to... this ain't working. That ain't working out. Go down. Yes. The stairs. Alright. Copy. Go up. Alright. It doesn't seem to be a reason behind it. Oh, that's right. I also like getting these, because I don't like these taking up the entire tile, so I'm gonna have to rearrange these all a bit. I don't like the outer walls of a building taking up like a quarter to a half of the space, because that is travelable space. People can go there. So I don't like them taking up space that people can use, because it just makes it just leads to confusion, and which causes the game to slow down. So I'm gonna extend these out. I had to do the same thing on the outer walls on the first floor as well when I was first starting this map. Like you see, move that back. This is a square, but a quarter of the square is blocked by that wall. So I'm like, nah, I like to, for clarity's sake, have the walls be on the outer edge of the squares that they are part of. I want my players to know that they can go in those squares without having to be like, huh, can I? Yes, you can. That means I also have to adjust this. My one gripe with Arkenforge, and honestly, given my experience with Arkenforge, it's most likely just something I have not learned yet. Like, it's most likely a feature that they have in here, because every time I've been, like, frustrated with this program, like, God, I want to just do this, and it won't let me, I've literally Googled it, and been like, oh, well, that's how you do it. So, they have done amazing with this program. And it's literally just a matter of learning the things. Like, but the thing that I'm referring to is when I need to be like, all right, well, the tile, when I have these, when I put these walls down, they basically came out like that via the line. And I'm like, I hate that, and it doesn't really mesh very well right here, so I had to extend them. But sometimes when you're extending them, like, it'll start scrolling the tile. First off, the wobblies. I need to figure out if there's a way to turn off this wobbly. I just want a straight line extension. But sometimes when you're extending it one way, you'll see the whole thing start to, like, slide on its own, and then you come over here, and it's, like, extended almost equally out this way. And I know there's gotta be a way to have it not do that. I haven't figured it out yet. And these are minor details, but I'm insane. So yeah, going back to the staircase, they have these stairs extended an extra tile for some reason on the second floor when they're not, and the building doesn't extend out any further. So it doesn't make much sense to me. Unless the intention... that wouldn't make sense though. Let's see. No... because all of this is blocked. So I got my finger there. Nope, that's exactly where it needs to be. So yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's I think they might have goofed up on the map at some point, but it's just a minor thing. So I'm not going. It's not going to affect the game in a negative way. So I'm not going to. I'm just gonna fix it myself. And it happens. There's a lot of details going into making these maps, especially when you're the designer of the maps. When you're the designer of the maps, my god, you gotta be thinking about everything. I'm just a person basically, like, taking the map and putting it into this format so that I can utilize it. Alright, so that's good. And then it does have staircases going up on either side over here, so I want to get this staircase because I want it to be flowing and matching. We're going to make this a 5. Well, as close to a 5 as we can get. And it goes this way as well. And we'll take one of these ones. This one, just this one. Edge shadow, good. Do a little bit of opacity, that way it blends more instead of just being a cutoff. And I imagine these tiles are going to be... Let's see. Is there a tile that I can use just to get rid of tiles? Fantasy textures. Well, what I can do is I can actually take this asset because it's the same tile down there. So what I'll do is I will get a tile over here and I will darken it because it's going to be a floor lower. I will darken it and I'll make it more opaque. There we go. And I will have that be the tiles for this. And then I can make it... I imagine they want this to be... Like, they want to... You have to come up this way and walk around, or come up this way and walk around. So the way I would do that is I would take some more edge shadows, which I am addicted to, and I know they aren't perfect, but I like them. And so what I can do is... And now it gives the semblance that this layer is a lower floor than this layer. Now, I don't think there's a railing of any sorts, but normally if I were like designing the map, I would have like, oh, these stairs have like a railing, although it might not fit with the theme. A railing going along with the stairs that also then goes around here to be like the railing that would prevent people from falling from this, like, this tile to this tile. And that's kind of what I would do with it. That shadow needs to be a little higher up. Because it looks wonky when it's on top of the floor. Above. We want these above this, but we want them below their shadows. So That looks good enough. Yeah, and then this gives a semblance that this is a fall right here. So, let's go back to 20. Wraps around a 20-foot square opening on the floor, overlooking an inner courtyard below and connecting to the rooms. So it's weird because it's going to be basically this, and then a little space, and then this are one room. So it's describing both areas at the same time. And then what I can do is I can take this. Actually, yeah, I want to do this first, and then I'll get some of those details. So I will tile, and then it's going to be from this cube 1, 2, 3, and up 2. So it should be a 4x4, and then we'll do the same shadow trick. Probably should do the shadows at the end of this, but this is for my own benefit. So what I'll do is I'll do this one first, and then I will go down because I want to get this, and I want to copy it in the same exact spot, and I want it to be on the terrain layer. Move to the bottom. That's not good. That means I'd have to move. Ugh. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this, because I want that to be there because it's supposed to be an exact, like you're looking at the exact same room from below. So I'll have to figure something out, which I can. There are always ways. It's one thing I've learned with Arkenforge is there is always a way to do whatever you're thinking you need to do with the map. But before I do it, I didn't want to resize it, I wanted to move it. And then I'm gonna kind of increase. Not selecting multiples. There we go. Ah. Actually, it might be more effective with this bigger area, because this is more of a wide open area, whereas that's just kind of like you want to see the stairs. To do this, and then select all the shadows, and lower the opacity a little bit to make it kind of rounded. There we go. And then what I can do is I can take tiles like this, assets, tile, and instead of doing a tile of it, I can do an object. Ugh. Well, I would do an object, however, put this on the object layer maybe. Yep, and that will do the job. Where's the shadow for this? Why is this one not casting a shadow now that it's on the object layer? That's weird. That's really weird that it doesn't cast a shadow on the object layer, but nothing we can't fix with yet another edge shadow. Well, we do want to fix this one's opacity. Just get it a little lined up with the others. There we go. Look at that! Look at that! It's coming along! Go boop to boop to boop to boop. I do want to change this one though. This needs to be a little darker because it's supposed to be down there. There we go. Boop, boop. It also doesn't look like it lined up perfectly, which isn't a big deal. They get the gist. So I'm not gonna, like, stress too much about it. I'm gonna stress a little bit about it. I'm about to stress a little bit about it. Now, if I were smart, I would have basically made these tiles excluding these ones. But instead, I just went... So, that's what happens when you're a dummy. Alright, so, now that that is good, it looks like we can start working on the rooms themselves. So I want to get these walls again. Because I like these walls. Assets. Line. Go up. And the first rooms one is going to be... Run... We're going to terrain layer for this. So it's going to be one up. Yep. Well, I thought I wanted to be on the terrain layer. I wanted to be on the object layer. I was incorrect. 2, boop, boop. Like, you see how these aren't connected, right? That's what I'm talking about. There's got to be a way to have them just, like, easily connect. And I could do polygon lines with them, but the polygon lines don't work as well as I would like them to. Like, if I go this way and then this... Or... You see it kind of, like... It kind of stretches it. You can see it's like, oh, this is the texture. This is the design I want. This is the design I want. And then over here it's like, kind of stretching them out. That's not what I'm looking for. So I just do it myself. We got 1 door, 2 doors, taking up 2 tiles. So that's good. And then 1, 2, and then up 1 door, door. Oh, and then up here. Over here. And then walls here. Walls here. Door, door. Yep. Wall. Ow. Door. Oh, it's doing a thing. I'm gonna have to fix that. Diagonal. Huh, interesting. Pathfinder usually stayed away from just some diagonals, from what I remember. Because diagonals in Pathfinder were still using the 3.5 rules of every... And I think they still use it in 2nd edition. Where first diagonal, 5. Second diagonal, 10. So 5, 15, 20, 30. Which makes sense. It's a radius of running around you. 1, 2, and then boop. 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 This room doesn't have any interior walls. That's good. This one goes about halfway, and halfway is probably a closet or something. And then up. Up. Over 2. And then door, door. Walls. And there we go. Let's take some of that shadow. And reapply. No, I just want to touch the shadow. I didn't want to do that. Do it here because I'm going to have to bring that wall over. Ugh. Allergies have been killing me lately. There we go. Look at that. Perfect. Not perfect, but perfect enough. Good enough for you is good enough. It's good enough for me. Yeah, 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 yeah. God damn it. Of course, now that I griped about it doing that thing, it's not going to do it on me. But I will not complain if it decides it doesn't want to do that anymore. There we go. Yeah, not perfect because I would like to have those faded to there, but I'm fine with it. It's fine. Now we need to go around. Excuse me, actually. First things first, I want to grab these doors that I have grouped together. Boop. So 2 doors here? Oh, they go down, that's right. I thought it was going to be like 2 doors diagonally. I'm like, that's a real... I like that design. Because then you basically curve your way into the room. It's probably not a cool architecture thing, but I like it. I swear, if I had the money, I would have the most bizarre house in this area that I live in. People would be like, oh my god, it's that house. I'd be like, yes, the weirdo's house. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that's all the doors we need. So now we just need to fix these walls. You two need to go underneath that one. So, move bottom. Thank you. You move bottom. You move to bottom. Oh god, can't move to bottom because I need to move up. I need it to be underneath the outer wall, but I need it to be above the floor. There we go. Perfect. Move to bottom. There we go, because I want them to be coming out of the outer wall, not the other way around. This one, I'm gonna scooch. Go ahead and just scooch you down because you're on the top anyway. Might as well, just for the consistency. I didn't need to do the shadow here anyway. Boop. I need to do the shadow here though. I need to extend this one. Perfect. Boop. Why did it unpin my message? Oh, manually unpinned or end of stream. That's why. Because it has an automatic setting to unpin my message. I have the music that's playing pinned to a YouTube video. I was like, I want to give them the credit, so I'm going to throw it on here. All the people's very talented musicians who can do way better music than I have ever learned. Alright, so that room looks right. I do need to put some little boops over there, but I'll go get those after I have the walls all lined up. This one's going to need a little bit that way. There we go. Uh-oh. Wall's kind of curving. There we go. Get rid of that. Make it more consistent of a line going through. It was doing the thing. It was doing the thing where it was like snaking away on its own. This one I'm just gonna actually have it go all the way through the door. Not doing dynamic lighting, so it doesn't matter too much to do that. Same with over here. Like if I were doing dynamic lighting and actually like being like, this is a wall, and putting a light here so that it would block it, then I would. It seems to work pretty well in Arkenforge not doing that anyway. But, you know, there's some good uses for it. Looks like I got all of them. Make sure to save. Right. Looks like we're ready to start. Actually, I forgot the little bloops. These guys. So, oh, I just pasted. Oh, actually, I cut, but oh well. Copy. Alrighty then. Where are these little guys going? We're gonna do bloop. And these just add extra texture to the walls, basically. More indication that, yes, this be wall. Two here to kind of indicate further the door. Alright, I think that's that one done. I'm going to put some over here on these doors. There's not on the map, but I'm going to be consistent. There we go. Awesome. So that room is all set and ready for furnishings and fulfillment. Move up this way. There we go. Probably could have just put one of these here, but oh well. These ones to take up less space. That's fine to take up that space. These ones, though. There we go. Move back up this way. This wall seems good. Put some of these by this door. Alright. I think the walls are all done for the upstairs. So now we have first floor, second floor. So this is 20. So now we can go back to the description of 20. This balcony wraps around a 20-foot square opening, that's talking about this, in the floor overlooking the inner courtyard below and connecting the rooms of the second floor. Above, a square skylight in the ceiling provides natural light, so there is a light source here. Which, you know what, I might be able to, I might just want to go ahead and, no, don't want to talk to, I don't want to do that, stop. One, create light source. Overhead light. I don't know why the radius doesn't seem to work as well. Yeah, see, this is the dynamic lighting. Go through the door, which is really cool, and I love it. But at least from what I have experienced in my own personal thing, it's too time-consuming getting all of this stuff to work, and then it just pulls away. Like, it detracts from the imagination of just running the game, and you get pulled out of it to be like, oh god, the lighting's messed up or something like that. I'd rather just, like, do the map. I'd rather just do the map, especially if I'm playing in person, because that way I can, like, split this into pages and then go ahead and print it out and put them all in one piece. Have them on the board, that kind of thing. Love it. Get rid of you guys. We don't need you no mo. Alright. To the southwest, 2 small staircases ascend from the landing to on the grand staircase between floors, 6 different sets of doors. Yep. Alright, so there's nothing else going on in this hallway. So we're going to go up to here. Actually, here's that thing again where I'm like, okay, we went up here. We described that this room and this room, because they are the same room. Where would you next think to go? I'm going to go up here, and you're either going to go here or here. But what's the next map? Because this is B20 right here. B21 is up here. Some of the decisions just don't make much sense. This is Arsetti's bedroom. Dust blankets this room. The walls, once brightly painted to depict life in ancient Wati, are now faded. The smaller room, or alcove, takes up the northeast section of the room. It was once closed off by a wooden door that since has rotted away, leaving only its hinges in the doorframe. A strong cloying odor of decay pervades the room. Alright, so the walls were once painted and are faded away. The smaller room takes up the northeastern section. It was closed off by a wooden door that has since rotted. So do I have a rotted door? I don't know if I have a rotted door. Probably. Oh, we have a damaged door. But I would like to see one that's, like, on the ground. Like a door that fell off and is just, like, broken through. I don't think I have one like that. Oh, map decided to start scrolling. It does not look like it. So, like, the door would have been here, broken off. Let's go wood and see if there's a pile of just, like, sticks. The rubble actually might work. Put rubble there. Be like, yes, this was in fact a door at one point. I was like, is that it? No, it's spikes. Effigies, nice. That actually might look better. I'm going to put you off to the side for right now. And then you, I'm going to shrink you down. Let's see, what would be best? There we go. Alright. She inhabited this bedroom, so there should be a bed of some sort somewhere. There, literally, in this, on the map, in this whole room, there is nothing. All it says is B21. That's all it says on the map, so... Gonna try and see what we can do. She had painted walls all over the place, so Adarsetti was a nice artist who would paint all over the place. No other features of the room have survived to tell a story of who lived here, so that's one of the reasons why there's not going to be much in here. I at least think there should be a broken bed. At least. We have one over here that I could just pull up and... Like, the bed is so decayed that it's just this. I'll put it over here out of the way. No, throw some debris. Rubble. You throw some remains. Some wooden rubble. It's a little too much. I'm looking for something kind of like splattery, like this, but without the big chunk in it. Just something. What I can do... I have some wooden rubble. That's what I used there, actually, so I don't want to use that again. Well, it's not, but it's very similar. What I can do is I can throw something like this in here. Actually, I want to do this one, because it doesn't have the big old chonkin piece in it. Throw something like this in the room. Just enough to where it's like, we get it, there was damage in the room. And then I will darken it and then make it very opaque. Just so it looks a little disheveled. I kind of want it to spread a little further throughout the room, though. Well, that should be fine. Alright. That should be good for that room. We will go ahead and save. Then we're moving down to 22, which is right now. Again, all it says is right here, it says B22, so I gotta figure out what's going on in there. This is Harwam's room. Or Harwam? Harwam? Harwam. Most of the contents of this room have fallen apart or otherwise been reduced to dust from the dried desert air. A foul, cloying smell fills the room. This was the younger son Harwam's room. And it just has a... Ooh, it's got a Vargul in it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just... Same kind of thing. It doesn't have much because everything's decayed. So I'm going to just take some of this, throw it here. And then... Another bed. I'm going to say his bed was probably in here. There we go. Alright. Yep. should do that. Leave it. We'll leave this one without a door to kind of contrast it with there. B23 down here does in fact have some things in it. It has what looks like a table or a bookshelf, chair, desk. So let's read up. This is the office. A large lacquered desk, now in poor condition, now sits in the center of this room. Bookcases stand along the eastern and southwestern walls, sagging as if already to collapse at any moment. Their shelves have fallen out, and the piles of dust at their bases are all that remains of the books and scrolls that failed to survive the long years. The lacquered wooden frames of what might have once been divans? Divans? D-I-V-A-N-S. I do not know what that is. Stretch along the north and south walls, but their upholstery is disintegrated. A single door in the western wall is the room's only exit. So, just this. All right. So yeah, this is an office. So that's easy enough. Assets. Shelf. Do I do a skull? Nah. I would like a bookshelf, but I don't want one that has clearly books all over it, because I want this place to kind of be a little ransacked. Or like that things have disintegrated over the years. We'll go with this one. It looks like it spans about 2 tiles in length. So it's going to be about that. Make them dark shells. Mahogany. A little bit of a longer one. And then the same thing over here. All right. Desk. It would be a pretty ornate one in its day. So I'm thinking mossy wood. Gotta be something like this, where it has the edge. And it looks like it's about here. Yeah, about here. Maybe thinner. Longer. Let's saturate it, darken it. All right. And a chair. Look at the chair, it's got a little rod on it. Of course, we will put that thing underneath the desk. Give it a little of that, a little bit of... There we go. Alright. Maybe shrink it down a little bit. There we go. Do I have a thing for clutter? Doesn't look like it. Papers. I know there's a, let's see. Objects. Decor. Desktop objects. I knew it. Just something to throw on there. It's all going to be ruined and not much use to anybody. So just throw something there. And some torn papers. There we go. Alright. That seems to be it for there. And we'll move into... I might want to put some debris in here. Just something like that, where it's kind of coming into the room. Alright. Next one is 24, which is right here. 24 is the guest room. Oh, who has been texting me? I have quite a few missed text messages. Oh my god, I am never this popular. Alright. Guest room. The walls of this room are decorated with scenic vista of a river valley running through a desert. Yeah, don't think I'm gonna let this... Oh. No spam in the chat. Thank you very much. Alright, back to this. The walls of this room are decorated with scenic vista of a river valley running through a desert resplendent with verdant life and greenery near the shores. Only a few pieces of lacquered furniture remain in the chamber. A faint musty odor of decomposed wood and fabric lingers in the air. A set of doors stand at the western wall. Again, all it says is B24 in it. So now I gotta figure out stuff. Bedroom was reserved for visiting guests. So, we're going to... I'm gonna say that these were younger individuals, so their beds were gonna be smaller. For a guest room, you definitely wanted to impress, so they're gonna get a little bit of a bigger room, or a bigger bed, but it's still gonna be in disrepair. So we'll have that be like over here, or over here, a little off the wall. There we go. Somebody can get in on this side too. Oh, there is a body. We have a body. Time for corpse. Not a tied one. We want it a little decomposed. Not a lot, but a little decomposed. That one should work. Darken it a bit. All right. Its head's missing, but I don't think I have a headless corpse. Might. Could always double check. What if I type head? Gargoyle heads. Pumpkin head. Gotta watch out for that pumpkin head. He gonna get you. God, I love that movie so much. Pumpkin head gonna get you. Not much in here other than that. There's the... It's a guest room, so they would have a bed. A corpse without a head. You know what, maybe I'll do some broken urns. Do some broken urns in the area. Something a little like here. Maybe one up here. I think that's about it. Should be it. That should be about right. So now we're going to go to this room. This is the master bedroom. This spacious room has entrances in the southern and eastern walls. The aged remains of dressers, large bed, divan lie in ruins. A husk of large hornet's nest, gray, papery, and devoid of life, occupies one corner of the ceiling. So I don't need to do that one. It's in the ceiling. The spaces in the northeast and northwest corners appear to be closets. Northeast and northwest. So closet, closet. The wooden doors have all but fallen off their hinges, and the heaps of disintegrated fabric mingle the floor. Between the closets stands a single lacquered dresser covered in dust. So closet, closet, dresser, debris, fabrics, doors broken. Over here... Not much said about what this would be. Nothing of value left in the room. Alright, well, definitely gonna get ourselves a bed. I'll go ahead and say the bed will be here. It'll be a little bit of a bigger bed, given that this is the owners of the house. We'll do some cracked urns over here. Here. Chest. Well, actually, dresser. What about closet? Over here. Chest. Do we have a damaged one? We do. Did not mean to move that. Got clothes. Do we have any damaged clothes? Got clotheslines. fabrics. Nor. Linen? Cloths. Let's just go to decor, general, alchemy, fabrics. Perfect. Exactly what I'm looking for. Shrink these down. Remains. Ugh. Not remains. I meant rubble. Broken, actually. Let's see. No, it's a cart, but it's not visibly obvious. So I could just go in here as the other dresser. Not digging those fabrics. They're a little too crisp and fresh. Looking like there's much for us here, so this might have to do. I think that's gonna be that then. Alright, well, finished up this floor, so we'll go ahead and save. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go up these stairs. Doop a doop a doop, boop, doop a doop a doop. Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Next map for this one is just the crypt, the one that's gonna be below this. There's that dirt again. The 5-dimensional dirt. Oh, well, I could probably find a way to cover it up. Anyway, I'm going to call it for right now because it's been about 2 hours or so, and I am starting to get hungry and tired, and I have to get myself some energy before I go out in about 4 hours. So, I will see you guys next time. Be kind to each other, and happy gaming. Until then, peace out.